What is going on, everybody? We're here. We're live for Geeks and Gamers Daily as Jay takes a sip of his coffee in the morning. Jay, drunk 3PO, how's it going, man?
Things are going great. Things are going really great. Had a interesting Tuesday night's main event, and
Did
then
you?
played Fortnite. Yeah, that's about it.
Nice. I can't say I tuned in. I know it's the premiere stream on Tuesday nights. I had other stuff going on, so I can't say I tuned in, but I'm glad you guys had a good time and a great stream. But today it's you and me. Jeremy gets to sleep in today, or do whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck he's doing. How late did everybody play Fortnite?
I was done by 12:30. I don't know how long he stayed on.
You had to get
So,
that beauty sleep. You had to get to bed. That's understandable.
well, I know I had a show with RK Outpost, and you have to be on top of your game, and it takes me a lot longer to even get close to get on top of my game in the morning.
Are you feel like you have to come more prepared when you're doing a show with me than you do with Jeremy?
Yeah, because he might have topics, but he just talks about Titanfall 2. I don't know, one of the Batman films, and then Donald Trump. And once you have those three down, you pretty much can do an hour show with Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. Other than that, like anything else, he'll just be like, "Well, yeah, of course. Yeah. Just like we've always been saying, but we're the bad ones." That's pretty much it. So,
You know, someone is saying in the chat that you made a mistake in your last video, Jay. You said that Rachel Zegler supports Israel in your last
yeah,
video.
I made a correction in the in my comment section. I put a little snowflake. So, but
Did you make a correction for a snowflake? You mean an asterisk?
yeah.
A snowflake. Oh my god. Did you issue a correction for the way that you butchered Gal Gadot's name?
I kind of did that on purpose.
Gail Gadot.
Yeah.
If I didn't know you, and even though I do know you, if I was fucking tuning in and I heard someone say that, fucking next video.
Yeah.
But it works for you.
It works for me. People start commenting in the section and they're like, "Well, it's Jay, we understand." And then that drives engagement. Then that drives, and the video before, I think I called her Gal Gadot. And then I'm like, well, we're just going to call her this because everyone's telling me a different way to pronounce her name. So I just used my way, my special way, and we're just going to keep it like that. I do that for all people that have different pronunciation for their names, apparently. So according to the European audience, they're okay with it. So that's as long as they're okay with it.
I don't give a fuck what they're okay with. You think I care about what Europeans think about how things should be pronounced? Y'all speak with funny accents and shit. I listen, you know how, because I actually was like curious because I didn't know for a long time. So I'm like, how the fuck do you say this? So I found a video of her saying her own name.
Yeah, yeah.
There it
Yeah.
is. That has to be the way you say it. There's no arguing that.
Gal Gadot. That's the way you say it.
No, it's not.
Gail Gadot.
No, is Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot?
Yeah. That's it.
I can't. I don't know.
It certainly ain't Gale. Where the fuck are you getting Gale from? There's not an I in between the A and the L. There's not an E at the end. Where the fuck do you come with Gale?
I think I watched somebody else talking about her and heard them say it like that. So it just kind of resonated with me.
Bro, I've never heard anybody say it but you. But maybe you're watching back your own video and you like gaslit yourself into thinking you heard someone else say that. That's the reality.
People still watch.
I know.
I'm finding that special audience, man. That just, they resonate with me.
Emphasis on special. I agree.
That's it.
Eddie Brock, Jeremy, after watching the new Kraven the Hunter trailer, when the man comes around, come spelled C-U-M-S. The trailer's surprisingly good. You do a live reaction to it? Maybe we can. I did see that. Man, this Sony Spider-Man universe with no Spider-Man, where you just keep rolling out these villains that are kind of supposed to be viewed as like anti-heroes or whatever. I think Kraven the Hunter is going to be interesting to see. It's going to be a pretty brutal, violent movie, but I just don't know if it's going to get the attention that is going to justify it. Now, it's not like an MCU movie that's a $250 million budget. It's probably more around the $80 to $100 million range, which makes more sense, like we've seen before from a lot of these things. But I don't know. I just don't know who's going to be interested in that. I do think more women are going to show up to see this than they showed up to see Madam Web, because they want to see a fucking jack dude who might be shirtless for some of it. So maybe that'll do something to increase their female audience.
If I can be honest with you, I thought this movie already came out.
It was supposed to. It's been delayed significantly. Not because it wasn't done or anything like that, but because I think they wanted to find the right slot to put it in. But
I have like zero interest.
You get enough interest to send me the video today.
Well, I was just trying to do my part.
Yeah, that's true. Jay's doing his part. Eric July's favorite chicken seasoning for Canadian dollar.
Wait, you see what's in the avatar?
Don Dish. So what the
fuck? There's like this. I don't know what it is, man. There's something going around that if you give a guy, if a woman tells her man, "Hey, can you clean the chicken?" They've been doing it with Dawn soap. So
I've also seen these videos going around of like women telling their husband or telling their boyfriend over, "Hey, like I'm on my period or whatever. Can you, when you go to the store, can you pick up some pads with wings?" And people showing up with like pads and like a box of like chicken wings. It's so dumb. Like, it's not fucking happening. It's just these fucking retarded things people are doing for TikToks. But yeah. What?
Washing your chicken with Dawn.
Thundarius. It's the motherfucking S tier stream today, bitches.
I'm glad somebody thinks so.
AE Cunningham. Hail G&G and hail the 199. Thanks, AE.
So, Mr. Cunningham.
XR Kuhn for 2. For Jay. Sarate Colame on the Panisti.
I have no idea.
Is that fucking another language that you know?
Sarate? I don't know that one. Nope.
All right.
It doesn't resonate with me.
Try signing it. Try signing it in American Sign Language. You'll figure it out.
Is that Creole?
That's what I assume. That's the thing you always tell everybody you fucking know. So
hold me on a panty. What? I don't know that, man. That doesn't sound like any Creole I know.
Call me on the panty sty is how I'd say it in American. But B Chain for 5. I love the AI chat.
That's from Pootie Tang. That's Pootie Tang language. All right, man. Now I got it now. Okay. Here y'all like having me like go to like Google Translate to see if that's actually Haitian Creole. And I'm like, what the freak? I never heard that. It's like from Pootie Tang.
That's why I said it that way, because I assumed it was another language.
So last night people were like, they were putting us, I don't know, G&G members in like characters. And someone said Jay's the Pootie Tang of G&G. Because I just say words, you know, whatever. But it was like, it was one of those things. And that's the only one that stuck. I don't know what anybody else was. But everybody else was like a gay character. I don't know. They didn't name you because you weren't on the panel, of course. But they, yeah. So they came to me and they said, Jay's the Pootie Tang. So I'm like, okay, Sarate.
B Chain for 5. I love the AI chat summary pops up with a paragraph explaining what chat's talking about. It fades away and every comment is latent gay. LOL. Yeah, that's usually what it is. It'll be like everyone's saying the show's latent gay, blah, blah, blah. And the AI chat summary will be like, viewers are currently discussing the tardiness of the hosts and also speculating about their sexual orientation.
Yeah.
Chris Benoit is back, baby, for 5. Jay, you need to respect how people pronounce their names. Every time someone gets my last name wrong, my son has a very, very bad day.
Chris Benoit. Yeah.
Jay hates children.
I hope your son has a good day.
Tyrant Lizard King. Do you see the story of a man suing Disney for wrongful death and Disney saying he couldn't because he has a Disney Plus free trial?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I got to be honest. I had not heard of that, but Jay did, and Jay sent it to me. And so, yes, we are going to talk about that today. This is a story that seems insane, even for the current levels of like Disney corporate sludge, like the people that they are there, the absolutely disgusting human beings that run Disney. This seems a little bit insane even for them, but this is a real story that's out there right now. A doctor, I believe a female doctor, died at Disney Springs restaurant from an allergic reaction after being assured the meal was allergen-free. The widower then sued. Disney's now trying to dismiss the suit, arguing he agreed to arbitrate all disputes when signing up for a Disney Plus free trial years earlier. Imagine that, Jay. You sign up in 2019 or 2020 or whenever they launch Disney Plus. You decide, oh, hey, I don't know, Verizon, my company's offering me some free Disney Plus. I accept the terms and conditions. Okay. And I don't think too much of it. I cancel it after 3 months because I don't want to actually pay for it, whatever. And 4 years later, you go on vacation. You go to Raglan Road, a restaurant at Disney Springs. Your wife has a severe nut allergy or whatever it is. And hey, there's not even nuts in this, are there? I'm really deathly allergic to this. And everyone at Disney's like, oh, no, everything's perfectly fine. Don't worry. Put it in front of her, immediately dies because she's deathly allergic to it. And you're like, holy shit, my life's ruined. I think Disney should be held responsible for this. And this is the response from them. I'm sorry, sir. In the terms and conditions for the streaming service you signed up for in 2019, you're not actually allowed to pursue a legal process like this. It has to go to a third-party arbitrator. We're not going to do a jury trial. It's not going to be held in open court. Nothing like that. I'm sorry for the death of your wife, though, sir. We really, truly are. Borders on the absurd. Dead Woman's Estate rejects Disney's claim that widower's Disney Plus membership means wrongful death lawsuit must be arbitrated. Dr. Kanakporn Tansuan, I don't know how to say that, died in October 2023, allegedly because her meal at Disney World restaurant in Florida contained nuts and dairy, well-known allergens to which she was deathly allergic. Rather than contest the facts or litigate the merits of the allegation, however, Disney wants the case decided by their preferred arbitration organization. This result is mandated in this case, the company says, because the widower, not the person who died, right? But the person who's trying to take the action, signed up for Disney's streaming service, and in doing so signed a contract which agreed any and all disputes with the company would be decided through the use of mandatory binding third-party arbitration. That's fucking insane.
Is that going to go for every single person now if they have to sue Disney for something? They're like, well, you did sign up for Disney Plus, and in the super small print there, it says you can't do that because you signed up for Disney Plus. That's crazy. That's crazy. What if you canceled it? Does it still hold merit? And that was the free version of all things. So what did Verizon give? A year, right? They gave a year for free service. So they signed up in 2019. The death occurred in 2023. So that is, if that goes through and like the courts agree with Disney, man, it makes you wonder like how many other companies are going to do the same thing. You know, saying you can't sue us.
Maybe we
can only give you a payout by a third party.
Now I'm sure that this is probably not referring to like say in the case of like Gina Carano's lawsuit against Disney, right? Like mistreatment of employees or whatever. This is probably for things like for people that are attending the parks or whatever, and some damage happens to them. So this means, Jay, if you signed up for a Disney Plus free account, and then you go to, I don't know, you go on some roller coaster and you get beheaded, right? Or like the thing flies off the rails and a bunch of people die. That you can't take the course of a normal lawsuit, right? They might be able to held in front of a jury, or you might get awarded, millions and millions and millions of dollars. Instead, it's going kind of behind closed doors to this third-party arbitrator.
Wow. All because you signed up for a streaming service.
Yeah. So I guess read the fine print. But also, if that is upheld, that's going to be a very interesting, like a very interesting case that everyone's gonna have to refer to. If this is the first time this has happened and this is the time that the precedent's going to be set, holy shit. Be extra careful before you eat anything at Disney or before you walk on any sidewalks that might be slippery or who knows what happens, because if you die, they're going to try to fuck you over because
It might not just be Disney at this point. It could be SeaWorld. If you get eaten by Shamu,
we'll have to ask
you
Universal,
signed up for
right?
Paramount Plus.
If you signed up for Peacock and a 6-month free thing to Peacock, does that mean that that all of a sudden you, I don't know, you have an accident in Simpsons Land or something and you're no longer able to take action?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Right. I'm sure this is gonna boost those Disney Plus numbers once this thing makes the rounds, and the pirate networks are gonna explode at this point.
Well, I don't know if it's gonna have too much effect on people pirating things or whatever, but like it's kind of crazy. It's kind of
I've never heard
crazy.
anything like that. I mean, but yeah, we'll see. I'm telling you, if they win this without any problems, it probably a lot of companies they might already have it. If all I know, we just haven't had a lawsuit. So,
Steph said in the chat that the comments on the post are wild. Let's see. I
probably can't show some, can you?
I'm sorry your wife died, but you signed up for an unrelated streaming service, so yeah.
For free.
Disney, when it's time to be held accountable for the wrongful death, yeah, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell. Craziest mental gymnastics of all time. Yeah, it's I don't know if I could show that South Park meme, so we'll try not to show the South Park meme. But
how are we going to cover our company? Just get everyone to sign up for a free streaming service. It'll be all right. Let's just give it away for a couple years. We'll get everybody signed up.
And ultimately,
we'll be protected forever.
And ultimately, somebody died because they have an allergy and Disney fucked it up.
Yeah.
Now there, maybe she didn't notify them that she had this. I'm sure that like a lot of that was probably like supposed to be argued as well. Who knows? But I can't imagine going through life like that. I don't have allergies to anything. I'm thankful for that. So I don't really care. Like, it doesn't matter to me, like, how my food ends up getting prepared like that, because I'm not going to die if somebody fucks up or if somebody like brings the wrong plate.
I don't have
to
an
the
allergy
table.
either.
That shit's crazy.
Yeah. Lord.
You don't have any allergies, Jay?
No.
Not even a little lactose intolerant? No?
Maybe a little. Yeah, that's true. If I do drink a lot of milk or have a big glump of ice cream, the stomach bubbles a little bit. But I really love cheese, man. It's hard to get away from it.
You get that bubble gut?
Yeah, it's okay. It's all good. I could live through it for a nice plop of ice cream. That's all I'm saying.
What does that sound?
You can hear that? I'm just tapping on my desk.
I can hear that, yeah. It's like vibrating straight through your fucking microphone.
Dear God. Stop.
All right. Don't make any sound, Jay. Big worm. Jay, I'll ask you sing to me. Is it too much? You're playing my emotions, man. Next time, give me a verse. I'll even leave my curlers in.
All right, thank you. I'll remember that.
Sindek for $2 says, I made a Snow White meme. It's on George Slayer X. Thank you, Sindek.
There's a lot of them going around.
Maybe we'll check it out. Danny Ben degree 17. Danny Benoit. That's what it's supposed to be.
Oh,
help! My dad is coming with his wrong name paddle.
Oh my God.
All right, buddy. I'm sorry for your loss, but do you read the terms and conditions?
Yeah,
like that's basically what they're trying to say. I guess you should have read the fine print. Like, that's what Disney is saying to this family.
On a streaming service, though, it's just so wild, man. On a streaming service, it covers all Disney Springs, everything.
Yeah.
What about on a cruise? What if you fall off a cruise ship and they're like, "Sorry for your loss"?
You fall out, like, yes.
You had free Disney Plus a few years ago. There's not. We can offer you like another free trip. I don't know.
Yeah,
How
like
about that?
A Disney cruise runs into an iceberg and sinks, and everyone dies. Like, sorry, everybody happened to get free signups to Disney
Yeah,
Plus.
you get free Disney Plus for signing up for this cruise, so we're covered.
It's kind of wild.
It's insanity, man.
I guess we'll see what happens with it. If it
Yeah, we'll
gets
have to
upheld,
watch.
it's going to be crazy.
I will say this: there was a lady that sued Disney in California for their annual pass because she bought like the Magic Key top tier, which was supposed to give her entrance into Disneyland as much as whenever she wanted to go was the top tier pass. And then like in the fine print, they didn't like let her know that eventually they were going to move to reservations. So it doesn't matter what kind of annual pass you have. If you want to go to a Disney park, you have to make a reservation to see if there's room for you to be there, even if you had an annual pass. So she kept getting blocked out on the things that she wanted to do. And so she sued them for like $5+ million and she won. She didn't win it all personally. So what the courts did was like they spread it out to like everyone that had bought
was it
a
a class? It
specific.
was a class action.
Yeah. They spread it out to everyone that that bought that particular pass. So pretty crazy.
Be careful, I guess.
So now
I've been to Raglan.
they probably put in their fine print, you can't sue us for bad ticket information if you have Disney Plus.
I've been to Raglan Road. That's like that Irish.
It's an Irish place. There's a
Irish
lot of loud
restaurant
music
bar,
in
whatever.
there, and yeah, everybody's happy and dancing and all that stuff.
Until you get the wrong plate. Gremlin for $20. I forgot the old PC game it was in, but in the TOS, they did a social experiment to prove that no one reads them. It had, we reserve the right to kick you in the balls at any time. No? Did you sign it? You might have to, you're going to be looking over your shoulder for the rest of your life.
Let's be honest, right? How many have you actually read? You know, when it's like they send you that whole book and you could scroll to the bottom and just click with your thumb. Yeah, I read it. I'm good.
Yeah. I don't care. If that means I die at Disney and can't sue them, whatever, I guess.
Drinking around the world. Ryan dies from like alcohol poisoning.
Yeah, you guys tried to speak that into fucking existence there. But it's like, I don't want to go to fucking Epcot.
People were giving top tier money to see that.
They were like, as soon as you mention it, there's $200 super chats or something. Jason Yankovic is there a D+ clause regarding tripping poo?
I didn't do it.
Hayden, sorry, in the TOS you signed, you gave Disney the ownership rights to claim your home at any time.
Yeah.
Right. Universal's building Epic Universe, so we need to expand our park too. You have 15 minutes to leave.
Sounds about right.
Doo-Doo McGrew for $2.
Hey, what's up, Doo-Doo Magoo?
McGrew.
I know, but he changed it. It used to be Magoo. I was like, go back. Jay. I like Doo-Doo Magoo better.
Super Base for $2. Lotus Eaters have a video on chicken washing. We'll have to check it out. John Getz, Chancellor Trump, nasty Newt Gunray, corrupt as they come. I mean, a really nasty guy. He gets caught over Naboo. He murdered a whole planet. What did Creepy Sheev do? Nothing. Thank you, John Getz. And then for another $1, Bob Iger goes on a serial killing spree to Disney Plus subscribers that don't speak positively on the show. The fine print killer. Maybe. Steph or not Steph.
Wesley.
Wesley. So Steph puts in the private chat the people that like on Rumble that have had it. So I have it in one place. So my bad. Wesley for $5. If Disney gives in on this lawsuit, then every Tom, Dick, and Harry is going to want to file a wrongful death suit. They have to push back. Well, every Tom, Dick, and Harry who's had someone die, yes.
Who died?
Yeah.
I mean,
how many people die at Disney? How many people die at Disney in a given year?
I have no idea. It's you don't really find out till like 2 years later. Then it gets reported in the news that somebody passed away by something crazy.
Darth Maul's lower half for 5. Has anyone found the clause in TOS about indentured servitude yet? I don't know. I don't know if it's in there. But we do have to talk once again, Jay. We got to talk about Snow White. Because we kind of have to. If there's one thing that we've learned over this entire woke Snow White, Rachel Zegler saga, is that if she has an opportunity to make things worse, in all likelihood, she will. That's kind of what we've seen when she went out there at D23 after being announced as Latina Snow White and said, you know what, it's not 1937 anymore. We're going to push modern day identity politics into this entire thing. And oh yeah, by the way, I hated this movie. I was scared of this movie. I didn't like it when I was a kid. And then tried to do some PR spin and turn it around. Well, obviously, after the most recent D23, with the release of yet another Disney, what is this? A Disney promotional trailer that got absolutely destroyed. This has kind of been the talk of the town because we're almost at 500,000 dislikes on the Snow White teaser trailer. Now, what did the media talk? Did they say, oh, wow, it's getting a lot of backlash? No, they bragged about how many people watched it.
How many views?
The Snow White live action trailer earned over 120 million views during its first 24 hours. It's the most viewed trailer for a Disney live action film since The Lion King. Now, of course, it eked out by a couple million views over something like The Little Mermaid, which obviously got a lot of backlash and also ended in complete disaster, a flop at the box office. But you'd think that maybe in that you could mention, by the way, it's hated by almost everyone that actually watches it. That of the 6.3 million people who have watched this, only 1% of them have actually liked the trailer.
Yeah.
That's not really good numbers. But Rachel Zegler decided that she wanted to thank everybody for, for actually watching this trailer. And I got to be honest, if she had gone out there and said, hey, thanks for 120 million views. I'm really excited for Snow White. It's going to be awesome. We appreciate you guys. It'd be like, okay, cool. Promote your movie, even though Rachel Zegler maybe not be the most popular people to some people. However, if you're going to then attach a very politically charged statement right under that talking about your Snow White movie.
Yeah.
Don't know if that's the best move. And that's exactly what Rachel Zegler did. I love you all so much. Thank you for the love and for 120 million views on our trailer in just 24 hours. What a whirlwind. I'm in the thick of rehearsals for Romeo and Juliet, so I'm just going to get out of here. Bye for now. But it wasn't bye for now. And as always, remember, free Palestine. And that reply, by the way, has 50,000 likes as compared to the original post. And I'm under no assumption that every single person in Hollywood is going to think exactly the same way as I do or have the same exact political opinion. And it wouldn't surprise me for Rachel Zegler to go out and tweet about this shit on her own. However, it's a different thing when you're attaching it specifically to the project you're working on. This is a post thanking people for the support for the Snow White movie. And then you attach a very fucking politically charged statement to that. I thought that you got fired if you talked about divisive politics if you work for Disney, at least if you're Gina Carano. But apparently for Rachel Zegler, it's A-okay.
I mean, the other thing is your co-star is from Israel, posts a lot of pro-Israel things. So it's a direct clashing there.
And in fact, like you brought up in your video where you mispronounced Gal Gadot's name, but you did bring up the fact that she's been under a lot of there's a bunch of people trying to boycott this. There's people that are saying because Gal Gadot is Israeli, she should be recast and saying a lot of shit. She's getting a lot of backlash from kind of the woke crowd right now. And to say something like that when your co-star is embroiled in that in response, very interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. The thing is too, is like what I've seen, at least from social media, is that now you have people that are like, I was going to watch it because of Gal, and now I'm not because of Rachel, and then vice versa. I was going to watch it, but I don't want to support someone from Israel, so I'm not going to watch this film. So now you have like that fighting. Then you have this, which will come up, I believe, eventually, if they do the press tour together, which maybe they won't, but we'll see. That some reporter might even ask Rachel about all this stuff, knowing that's your co-star. is on the different side. And, you know, if she says anything on the lines of, oh, I love her, man. I love Gal Gadot. I love her. You know, she was great working for her. You know, all those crazy people online are just going to turn on her with a snap of a finger and be like, you were supposed to be fighting with us, not with the enemy. Like,
and then they'll start infighting between the pronouns and bios, like trans flags freaks. They'll be like, don't go after Rachel. She's just saying what she needs to say. We know, look, she tweets Free Palestine. Like, she's with us, but she has to do these things. You'll get a lot of that kind of fighting going on. That could be interesting.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. Because the in some of the promo pictures from D23, which what we noticed, like even on Instagram and stuff, you have Gal and you have Wonder Woman. How about that? I might just call her Wonder Woman. She did a video of her whole D23 experience, which included Rachel Zegler. And then if you go to Rachel Zegler, she has nothing about any of her co-stars in that film. And she writes, I'm the fairest, by the way. Like, she writes that in her post. So, yeah, and Steph's right. It looks like Rachel cropped out some of Gal Gadot's photos in that. So it's like, it's almost as if she knows she can't put her in those pictures because the people that she's catering to will just freak out on her. So,
yeah. But this is where we are now with these Disney stars. And again, if you're casting these fucking young women from Hollywood, there's probably a decent chance that many of them are going to hold political ideologies. Probably I don't agree with, especially if they've grown up in this fucking bubble and all this shit. Yeah. However, when you decide to hire these people and promote them and allow them to say whatever they want, while at the same time firing people who dare have like a kind of like fucking normie conservative take, that's kind of bullshit. This is the way that Disney is presenting themselves as a company now. They have young, radical, woke activists who are going out there and in the name of your show, not just kind of on your own time or whatever, but in the name of your show or your movie, Amandla Stenberg, that's a great example as well. The diss track she did, based completely directed at Star Wars fans during the Acolyte. Like, this is what Disney is putting out there. This is the new and improved Disney in some of the woke mind virus infected people's like way of thinking. This is who they are now, and it's kind of disturbing.
Well, from what I'm hearing, I don't think I have an exact number. The budget for this film just like is massive. And so now if you've got two co-stars at each other's end that won't do a proper press tour, who knows what will happen? You've got all this dislikes. You've got the cancel mob. You got all these things put together, which is spelling massive disaster. And if they spent close to 400+ million, not even including marketing, I mean, this could be the biggest flop in history.
We don't have a number for that yet. We do know that about halfway through filming, like the original filming of the movie, that they had already spent over $200 million, like $210 million, $208 million, somewhere around there. Because it's filmed in the UK, they're required to disclose it for tax purposes and things like that. That doesn't include all of the movie. That doesn't include any visual effects or post-production, things like that. That also doesn't include the at least 2 sets of reshoots that the film went through. Like, this film, in all likelihood, is going to end up over $300 million at a minimum in terms of budget. Like you said, not including the marketing. Little Mermaid was, I think, $250 million, and then an extra $150 million in marketing, somewhere around there.
What was Indiana Jones? Because that was a pretty big flop.
That was over 300 million, I believe. Yeah.
So, I mean, the other thing too is, I just wanted to point out that some of the comments in my video are like, people just downvote anything Disney right now. I mean, if you look at the same, they released the Mufasa trailer the same day, and that's, you know, it's not like the Snow White as far as downlights go.
Back to the first Mufasa trailer, I think that one got ratioed. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that. I was looking at all the ones with the D23.
Yeah,
that were dropped. Nothing like the Snow White one.
I think one of the first Mufasa trailers did potentially get ratioed, and it just kind of goes to show where everyone's at with Disney right now. People don't give Disney the benefit of the doubt. They are tired of seeing these soulless reimaginings or live action remakes or whatever they're doing with a tinge of identity politics thrown in. I thought the Lion King live action, which was just all CGI, I thought the Lion King 2019 movie was an abomination. I thought
Never
it
saw
was
it.
completely soulless, and it made $1.6 billion. Made a
Yeah.
lot of money. I don't know how this Mufasa one's going to do. Maybe people will come right back out to see it. But people just have a different vibe about Disney. The past 5 years has been very destructive for them.
Well, it's they have no imagination, they have no creativity. It's just what worked, and let's squeeze that lemon as much as we could squeeze, you know? So it's like they just keep going back. Like, yeah, what did we get? Toy Story 5. There's
Toy
another
Story
one.
5, Incredibles 3,
Yeah.
Frozen 3. And, from a business standpoint, and we kind of talked about this the other day with the removal of Tom Sawyer Island and Rivers of America, putting Cars Land in place of that. From like a just strictly business, hey, numbers, how many people can we fit in here? Like get capacity to here. Maybe that does make sense for them. But the problem is that Disney had a vibe. It had a feeling as this imaginative, creative company. And now it doesn't feel that way anymore. It feels like they've bought half of their fucking IPs and
Yeah.
they're just putting out the same thing over and over again.
Right.
And like that's a problem long term for them. It
Yeah,
really is.
because I mean, the other thing too, it's like for them to like, if you go to like Star Wars, like take the Acolyte for instance, they they literally made that with she made that with like several seasons in mind, you know, and the fact that it didn't do it just did terrible, and now they might not even give it a second season to answer any questions that they might have thrown out there with Yoda and Plagueis and all that stuff. They're just dumping it into books. This is just the norm with them. Like they can't stick with the story. I think Andor 2 is the only one that got a second season before. I think because they had planned that already. They had already planned 2 seasons. So, but they had to sign off on the Acolyte, you know, so they knew that the ending was just going to be not concluded. So this is just what they do. It's like they just give you shows that has no ending. I almost said literally again. Has no ending or that doesn't tie into anything. It's just like we have no we have no creativity. So let's just throw the Yoda in at the end and people will clap. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if Acolyte gets a season 2.
Well, they're releasing books on all the characters, and that was their big maybe not D23 announcement. That was their announcement, Lucasfilm's announcement for the Acolyte.
They were doing
At
that like
the
it
at the
basically as
Comic-Con,
soon
I
as
think.
Jackie and Yor died, they announced they're doing prequel books for them. Yeah, but I don't think that that's their sequel plan for the Acolyte. That's just an extra thing.
I think it's going to be a comic book. I think that's they Star Wars is known to try to fix their stuff through the like they even did a comic book on why Chewbacca didn't hug Leia in the sequel trilogy. So they did a comic book to explain why that was a miss in the movies. It's it's just what they do. I don't know. The Mando and Grogu trailer that they haven't released publicly yet, pretty much it looks like they're gonna just tie in the sequel trilogy, like the First Order. Did you see that?
Well,
So
if there's anyone that's surprised by that,
well, not that anyone's
literally
surprised. I'm just saying.
the first 3 fucking seasons of Mandalorian have all been about connecting to the sequels, about Project Project Necromancer or whatever, right?
Right.
Like that's what it's been. And I tried to tell people that from the very beginning, first season of Mandalorian, and a lot of the idiots who wanted to believe that Dave and John were retconning the sequels said, "Oh no, that can't possibly be." Yeah, it was from the very fucking beginning, and they couldn't have made it more clear by what they did in season 3. But they even had General Huck's dad sitting there,
Yeah.
and all that shit. Like, come on,
Yeah.
it was obvious. But yeah, I did see the leak. Again, it's not public release, so you get copyrighted if you put it out right now. But I
Right.
did see that Mandalorian. There wasn't much, and to be fair, they just started filming not that long ago for it, so it's not like they have a ton of time put into it. But most of it was kind of recaps from the first couple seasons, and then a little bit of action
Right.
from what they're currently filming. At least from what I saw.
Sounds like another banger.
Yeah. Pretty much. All right, where were we? Stop dog grape. Hashtag rescue Dave Filoni's dog, says Wolfram Hart. Ministry of Wrong Thing. So Disney pulls this BS. They get to be a major children's company. I asked for a prenup and I'm the bad guy. We're the cousinly love. The cousinly love. XR Coon. When will Disney go full Futurama, create an animatronic body of Walt with his frozen head on top? Well, they are doing the animatronic body. They don't have his frozen head on top, but they are doing the body.
Oh. Yep.
Was that like a hey guys, we still really care about Walt. This is what we're doing while we're ripping out a lot of his historic shit.
It was like they're like, finally, you get a chance to meet Walt Disney because we're gonna have a fully scaled animatronic. You know what I think they want to do? I think they really want to gut out the Hall of Presidents, so they don't have to put Trump in there speaking again if he wins.
Bro,
if you really wanted Trump's face, like in that robot, that animatronic, it looks like Hillary Clinton.
A lot of them look bad, to be honest with you. They got to put a Joe Biden one in there where he's just mumbling.
They usually what they do is they take a speech, like a speech from a president, and like the current president, and they put that speech in the show. For Biden, they just gave his Joe Biden. Do something like they couldn't find a speech to put in there that was moving and motivating. I wish they had put all his outtakes in. That would have been hilarious. I've got hairy legs, and the kids used to play with them in the pool. That would have been perfect.
Oh my god! If they put that one, I mean, crazy. Jason Yankovic for 5. Whatever happened to Free Tibet? It's almost like it was dropped when the liberal elite decided they wanted the China money. Yeah. Golden Nuggets for 5. In my opinion, to be perfectly honest, to be quite clear, I think I agree with Jay.
Well, I grow on people like a fungus, apparently.
Taker for 5. Palpatine took over the Republic, but tricking everyone into signing up for Empire Plus into the First Galactic Empire. Check the small print. Yeah. Bilbo becomes a channel member. Thank you, Bilbo. Nandy O for 199. Good morning, all. Rings of Power trailer was ass.
I didn't even see it.
The one from like a week ago or something? Did they do a new one?
I don't. Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't know if they did a new one or not. But we also have to talk about, speaking of dog shit, we do have to talk about Marvel and a decision that was recently revealed. Now, after the disaster that was Eternals, which came out a few years ago, despite Disney virtue signaling over it, having a gay relationship on screen and bragging about how diverse it was, how they wanted to use the Eternals so they could race swap and gender swap everybody and not get a ton of backlash, ended up being a flop at the box office. People despised it. And at the time, it was so funny, to see this right now. At the time, everybody said, it's just homophobes review bombing. That's what's going on. Eternals review bomb proves Marvel's on the right track. Eternals gets review bombed by trolls on IMDb. Marvel's Eternals gets review bomb for LGBTQ plus relationship. Listen, the gay dudes on screen, that was like the 12th or 13th complaint that some people had. The movie was just ass. It was boring. It was stupid. It was ass. That was people's main concern. And, the handful of people that wanted to see a sequel when it was announced that Eternals 2 was happening, they were like, see, we told you. It was just being hated by these people. Marvel's going to go forward with it. Apparently, that's not the case. Marvel's plans for Eternals 2 have reportedly been scrapped. Now, this isn't necessarily like a new report. We've kind of heard this for the last 6 months or so, that internally they have no interest in actually doing an Eternals 2, and every opportunity Kevin Feige would have to maybe put it out there, he's really just stayed silent about it and provided no information. And recently in an interview with Kit Harington, who obviously very famously in the Game of Thrones series, but also, was in the Eternals movie, He basically confirmed what everybody else was thinking too, that there's no plans in the works for Eternals 2. Jay, Why? How is this happening? Why is there not going to be an Eternals 2? We were told by the mainstream media the only people that didn't like it were bigots and homophobes. That's why it got review bombed. That's why all these things happened. Now, that doesn't really explain why it was a flop at the box office. It was just those people that didn't like it. But how could it possibly be? Marvel was on the right track with their virtue signal.
Obviously. Well, they didn't virtue hard enough, I guess, because no one saw this film. Nobody cared about this film. Nobody wanted a part 2 to this film except for people on Twitter that were crying. The meltdown is glorious, though. I'm enjoying it. Just type in Eternals 2 in the search engine and just scroll down. People are crying. People are upset. People are blaming toxic fans. Maybe you guys will get a comic book out of it, and you could finish out your Eternals love there.
Maybe you should blame Marvel for making such a shitty movie. Maybe if they had made a good movie that happened to have gay sex in it or something, and then you could be excited for that. Maybe that could have got a sequel. But you didn't. You made a dog shit movie.
Yeah.
Here's even a related article. I don't know if this is from right now or not. Let's see. Published 3 hours ago. Marvel fans rally around Eternals after disappointing sequel report reemerge. Just look at this shot.
I have never seen this film. I never had a desire to see this film. It just all you needed to do was people that are sharing clips on social media realizing that what the heck were they thinking? What were they thinking with this? Maybe Marvel is on the right path by getting rid of some of these projects. There was that little rumor out there that Marvel decided to get rid of a lot of their activist people in the company. Don't know how true that is, but that's been floating around. So,
yeah, and that was Chris Gore, with that initial report. And I trust and I believe Chris and what he says.
Yeah, absolutely.
Based off what I've heard, I believe similar things. However, that doesn't mean that things are snap going to change.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it also doesn't mean that the things that have been in the works for years, like Ironheart, like Agatha, like Captain America 4, all these things, they're still likely going to be fucking shit when they come out.
Yeah.
Does that provide some positivity about some stuff that maybe they could turn things around in the future? Maybe. No one's going to give them the benefit of the doubt, certainly. But, not pushing this is definitely a good start.
Maybe listen to Ryan Reynolds because he was like, we need a Blade movie with Wesley Snipes. I don't know. Maybe that would be a good idea instead of all the crap that they've been trying to do with the Blade film that gets new directors, gets pushed back. They didn't like the script. The actor was going to leave. Now it's in limbo. They don't know what they're going to do. I'm just like that whole circus has been hilarious. So
Eternals made around the famous the first Dune and did really well on Disney Plus, so we deserve a sequel. At Marvel Studios, at Kevin Feige, at Robert Iger, hashtag Eternals 2.
Hey, Jacob, you better be careful because if you eat peanuts, your mom might not be able to sue.
Yeah, be careful with those Disney Plus accounts with your queer profile picture. But yeah, that is true. It made around the same as the first Dune. What he fails to mention is that the first Dune movie, 1, was received incredibly well, and 2, it was released day and date on fucking HBO Max before it turned into Max at the time. So different than hey, releasing a movie and then putting it out later on Disney Plus. That considerably hampers you, right? When you put out at the same time for free, as long as you own the streaming service, on your streaming service, that fucking movie that people don't have to go to the theater to see it. So that's a little bit silly. Marvel Studios scrapping Eternals 2 feels like a mistake. Like most COVID-era movies, the original underperformed, yet it was beautifully crafted, believably acted, and Celestials were breathtaking. No cosmos-spanning sequel is a missed opportunity. I hope they come back in a later saga. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure they're going to, they'll randomly bring them back for some fucking cameo, and all these queers will freak out about it.
Yeah, maybe Secret Wars or something.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. Sorry.
Did you see Eternals? Did you get a chance to
I did. I saw it. It sucked. Yeah. It wasn't the worst Marvel movie, but it was just super uninspired and boring.
Yeah. Yeah. Aliens is. Are you gonna watch Aliens? Aliens.
I think
coming
we're
out.
supposed to be reviewing it on FNT, so I guess I need to.
You gonna get that popcorn bucket?
Probably. I don't think I'm gonna go to AMC, so probably not. It does look cool though.
Yeah, the alien popcorn bucket.
Yeah. I don't. I'm not a big like. I'm not
popcorn
a big
bucket
alien. I'm not a big like alien franchise fan. Like I like some of them, but I'm just not invested. Like I'm not a massive fan of the franchise. So
that's
we'll see
another franchise though, man. Like after the first two, they probably should have just let it be. So then they went to that whole like Aliens.
Say the same thing about Terminator, I guess.
Yeah, Terminator, another one, man. Like, man, first two.
I kind of like T3.
I didn't hate it, but it's like you could see they were pushing it a little bit.
It's definitely not up to the same standard.
Yeah.
And I actually I enjoyed Terminator Genesis.
I like Salvation. I didn't like Genesis.
Or sorry, not Genesis. Salvation's the Christian Bale one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that I like. Sorry, not Genesis.
Yeah.
Genesis is the fucking one where they turn John Connor into like the fucking evil like shit.
Yeah. The Salvation one probably could have worked for a couple just because that wasn't an Arnold verse.
Although they did slip him in. They had CGI Arnold or whatever at the end in that fight sequence. But I like that because it didn't feel like they're trying to make the same movie over again.
Exactly.
It felt like something, okay, let's go and let's actually jump forward and see this and what's going on there. That was interesting to me. And it wasn't great, but I really liked it.
Bro, that last Terminator was like, holy crap. Like, they should have just set that on fire. That was horrible.
Bro, with the LGBT 1000.
That was the worst thing. First 5 minutes, they kill off, the John Connor that everybody loved from T2,
And we heard a story that came out the past couple hours, or maybe just yesterday or something, but that James Cameron's working on another one.
Yeah, exactly.
Top secret. He can't tell anybody.
Exactly. Wait, someone said something in the chat. See, this is what they should do. Right here. They should just throw them all in a Freddy versus Jason style film. Just put them all in there together and see what happens. Maybe in the multiverse, something opens up. Somebody goes to a wrong planet, and all four of these are just fighting with each other, and they can't get out, but they're in the middle of this war. So they use multiverse for everything else. Why not?
Nandy O for 199, the new one, Ryan, released an hour ago.
Oh, yeah, they just released a new Rings of Power.
Prairie Rider for Canadian $13.99. Late night talk show host flipping the script, making fun of Biden. They've received their orders. Hypocrites. Mainstream media is dead. Long live the fellow-ish. Hail 199 from this very old lady. Thank you, old lady Prairie Rider.
Hard to media, man. They're trying to spin that Trump Elon thing as to like a big failure and a negative.
Nobody watched it. Okay.
Yeah, crazy.
Tomac. So if Jake claims to grow on everyone like a fungus, would that make him a 40K orc or a John Carpenter thing fragment?
I'll go with the orc.
Anzac for 5. Yay, the high forehead A team. That's us. Black Cane for 5. Check the fine print in your G&G membership. It says if you disagree with Jay, Beardo is coming for your chili hole.
Oh, God. Gross.
The Singing Tigs for 2. Jay and Ryan for every daily. Y'all's dynamic is great.
I'm glad somebody thinks so.
Yeah, at least one person out there thinks
one person likes me being with Ryan.
Singular. Bronzonite for $1 over on Rumble. Disney. We're going to hire dangerously incompetent DEI hires. Quick, let's make a scam terms of agreement that protects us from liability. Might as well, I guess. I guess we can watch this Rings of Power trailer that just came out. If you want.
Sure.
Don't get too excited.
Nah, man. I can't even pronounce Gal Gadot's name, let alone anybody from this series. So.
All right, let's check it out. I have no idea what to expect. Here we go. Jay's the Lord of the Rings expert here.
Yeah.
What is coming to Middle Earth?
Just making sure you can hear it, right, Jay?
Yes. Yeah, I was right on it, man.
Good. All right.
This is the work of Sauron.
Such a great disguise. I can barely tell it's the same guy that tricked you all last time with his wig.
Our armies cannot defeat him. Once the deceiver obtains a being's trust, he gains the ability to sculpt their very thoughts. You are wise to fear these rings. In Sauron's hands, they could work an evil beyond reckoning.
Region must not fall. It would be a mortal blow for all Middle-earth.
Sooner or later, Sauron's eye bores a hole. The rest of him slithers in. You sought peace. I gave it to you. This is hardly a gift. What have you done to me?
What have you done to me?
Who are you? Truly, I am the one keeping the storm at bay.
Bro, he fucking looks exactly like the motherfucker that tricked you. And then after he tricked you, you fucking made the rings anyway. Jeez.
Yeah, I didn't see that part.
Sauron is my enemy as much as yours. I can help you destroy him.
I will not stop until this is put right.
Every soul in the seen or unseen world will know that it was you who was the architect of their demise. At this moment, the great tale of our age is being written.
You think it was only you who put yourself in my power? Galadriel.
There's a tempest in me. That's all I remember.
With basically all the marketing that I've seen for this, they desperately want people to just think action, 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 war, 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 war. Like with all of these trailers, which, to be honest, they should probably focus on that, because the actual story and like the characters and the interactions between them, because so much of it is completely departed from the actual world itself, and because so much of it is terribly fucking written, they should probably just try to convince people to come watch this, because there's going to be fights and battles. That's another trailer where I felt kind of exactly the same way about that. That's kind of what they were pushing the entire time. Jay, are you going to watch Rings of Power?
I'm not.
Ghosts?
No.
We're going to be reviewing it on Friday Night Tides, so I will I will watch it. But we'll see. They've hidden some comments already. Should we
dare? Get rid of the stupid diversity hire to stop trying to look like Game of Thrones. Maybe you won't lose 80% of your viewer base after the first episode.
Why are they so hell-bent on creating tension chemistry between Sauron and Galadriel? She has a whole husband in Tolkien's elves, marry/mate for life. Why would you hide this? This is nothing to hide.
Yeah.
Like, that's not like they're not complaining about diversity. They're literally just saying, what the fuck? Like, why are you trying to create this fucking love story between Sauron and Galadriel? That's it.
You guys better read the terms of service with Amazon Prime, making sure that you're allowed to talk ill of this show.
Yeah, so if like an Amazon delivery driver comes to your house and shoots you in the head, you're not allowed to sue him or something.
Yeah, something like that. Your car gets stolen from an Amazon driver. Well, sorry, man. You didn't read the fine print.
Didn't read the fine print, bruh. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna. I don't know what I'm gonna do while you guys do Lord of the Rings or Rings of Power. Excuse me. So,
M can't be a U fan for 2. Beep beep. No bitches detected today. Thank you. Taker for 2. Last of Us 3. It was Jay all along.
Yes.
Nandy O for 5. When I said the new trailer meant watch after the stream, not torture us all. Well, literally your fault. Laze Jensen for 100. When are you guys coming to Denmark? G&G Expo Denmark 2025.
Ryan doesn't like to travel.
I'm not a big fan of other cultures in general, although
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, Europe, that's my people there, so maybe. I don't know about 2025. Ron Cook for 5. This looked fucking amazing. Okay, forgive me. I'm on some serious medication right now. Hypnotic, member for 10 months, says Sauron, Galadriel. When they speak of each other, they roll the R's to a retarded extent. Thank you, Hypnotic. That was difficult to read. Yeah, they're going all in on the rolling of the R's for sure. Gung Ho Mac for 5. Jay stabbed me at a meetup, but I can't sue because 2 years ago I bought a 9-line shirt with code drunk 3PO.
That's pretty good.
Is that true, Jay?
Yes.
Is that in the terms of service?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for us today. We've been going just over an hour. We went extra today, Jay. We had a minute of extra time. Look at that.
It usually doesn't happen with a Ryan and Jay daily.
That's true. Like usually
you get like 30 minutes of time if it's a Ryan Jeremy daily.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes. But you have anything going on other than making more Gail Gadot videos about Rachel Zegler, being a Zionist?
Probably. Yeah, that's about it. More videos. And then I'm leaving to go to Chicago. And I know there's going to be a lot of people over there, lots of emails. So we might do something Friday. Haven't really like officially announced it, but I know all the G&G fans that'll be in Chicago at the Chicago Fan Expo. I think Friday someone's going to take me to get some Chicago pizza on Ryan's recommendation.
Why does someone need to take you? Why can't you go?
They heard no, I'm just saying, like, we're just going to meet people there. So it's like, yeah. And then, yeah, so that'll be there this coming weekend. So hopefully I'll see some of y'all out there. It'd be nice.
Is the DNC in Chicago this weekend?
Oh, Lord, I hope not. That's just going to make things horrible.
I think it's this weekend, right?
That will make the Fan Expo terrible with traffic and security and everything.
Monday. No. So it's not during the weekend. It's during the week, kind of like the RNC. So you should be okay.
So it's when I leave
day after this weekend. So be good. But they might be preparing for it and setting up boundaries and all that shit.
Is it going to be the same place, the same convention center?
Probably not.
Yeah.
I don't know specifically where it's going to be at, but I just more meant like for traffic and getting around and shit. Eric K for 5. Stay safe, Jay. Watch out for the MAGA hat wearing Nigerians.
Yeah, I want to go there. I want to visit the spot. That's
recreation.
The one. Yeah, I might go there Sunday and just like walk the strip of Jesse Smollett.
Smollett. All right. Well, thank you guys for hanging out. Thanks for people that tune in over on Rumble as well. Good crowd over there today. We'll see you tomorrow. Not me, but somebody. I don't know who's going to see you tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out. We'll talk to you later. Peace.